and welcome to another booktube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. Welcome. I look terrible today. David and I, David more so, we've been struck down with an illness. I was unwell Friday just gone, filming this on Thursday, and filmed a reading vlog where literally I just laid on the sofa talking about how unwell I felt. That will never see the light of day. So yeah, that's why we've been low on the ground with reading, videos this week. David has been even poorlier than I was. Like, mine was here and then sort of was here on Saturday and then left. David has been consistently ill since Saturday. Today is the first day that he's actually felt a bit human. So yeah. Not many in the way of videos, but hey, it's good to get this sort of thing out of the way now, isn't it, before Vlogmas happens? Because I really would like to do a full Vlogmas for you this year. I really, really want to do it. So yeah, so today's video is a very simple book and library haul. So I've got 3 books that I've got out from the library that I'm very, very excited about. And then a book that I've bought myself, which I'm very, very excited about. A book that David's dad's given me. And then some books that have been sent to me, heart eyes, from my wish list, which is always an absolute joy. Shall we start with, let's start with this, which is a book I've bought myself. It's a Jilly Cooper book. I have never read any Jilly Cooper. Riders is the one that I'm most sort of familiar with. I think they're a bit racy without being like pure filth. Unless other people here have read Jilly Cooper and can tell me otherwise, I would be interested to hear. So yeah, this is Tackle, Jilly Cooper's newest release. It came out on the 6th of November, and I bought myself this because I've started a book club at my choir, and I wanted something really fun to kick off January with. So I thought this would be quite a fun. The front cover is so unlike anything I've ever read. I thought it would be fun. Hopefully the other people, I've only told 2 of them that this is what we're planning on reading, so let's have a look. So it looks as though, oh okay, so it's about a returning hero. So I think this might have something to do with Riders. So it says here, Jilly Cooper's legendary hero returns. Rupert Campbell Black, all-conquering racehorse owner, trainer and handsomest man in England. Well, but my husband David's the handsomest man in England, is in the darkest of places. His adored wife Taggy is about to undergo chemotherapy. His beloved leading stallion has been assassinated. Now his daughter Bianca is badgering him to buy into a failing local football club. This seems to be happening a lot in the old real life, doesn't it? Searston Rovers, so he can sign up her superstar striker boyfriend, Ferrell Jackson. Oh, imagine someone's name being Ferrell. And he and Bianca can return home from Perth and look after Taggy. Rupert dislikes football and his first impressions of Searston are distinctly unfavourable, but as their new and indelible competitive chairman, he won't stand for anything less than an Everest climb to the top of the Premier League. With the help of the club's ravishing and adorable secretary, Temba West, and his sassy press officer, Dora Belvedere. This is hilarious. He becomes increasingly fond of his riotous mix of players, despite bawling them out whenever they face defeat. Rupert's explosive arrival at Searston causes outrage, so the fights are as furious off the field as on, particularly when glamorous wags flood in to stir up trouble and lust after Rupert. Nor do the local rival football team, their duplicitous chairman and their corrupt dealings make things easier. Let the scandal, sabotage and seductions begin. Well, fun I wanted, and it sounds as though this is going to be very, very fun. So yeah, that will be being read early doors in January, because that's going to be my book club for my choir book club. Sounds hilarious. Sounds hilarious. And then, as I said, I've been sent some books from my wish list, which is always such a lovely thing, but particularly at this time of year, because people include lovely little notes to say happy birthday and Merry Christmas, and that's so lovely. So thank you so much for support all year round. But when these little things start appearing and they've got like little Christmas messages and stuff, that's always lovely. And I'd never ask, but if you do want to support in some way, and you don't want to sign up for the Patreon, because I'd always love for you guys to sign up to the Patreon reading club, because that's my favourite thing to do. I do always link my wish list down below, but you can tell from my eyes not making contact with you that I do feel nervous telling you that, but that is there if you want it. And I thank you a lot. So yeah, here we go. So here are some books from my wish list, some Christmas books from my wish list, and some non-Christmas books. We'll go with the non-Christmas book. I've got this beautiful copy of The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. These are the sisterhood books that were bought out, I don't know when they were published, 2020 to 2019 I think, and I own a few of them. Anne of Green Gables being the first one that I got of that, and then I've also read The Little Princess, and now I bought myself The Railway Children and Heidi, and now I own The Secret Garden. So those are the three that I haven't watched. When I was younger, I used to have a BBC adaptation video of The Secret Garden that I absolutely loved to watch, but I've never read the book itself, so I'm very much looking forward to that, and I just love these front covers. I just think they're amazing. So that's the first one. And then I've got the paperback copy of True Biz by Sarah Novick, which I've been very excited to read. I've got it out from the library in hard copy so many times and ended up taking it back and not getting around to it. Then I saw one of my friends that I know in real life, he reviews books and films on his Instagram, and he read and really enjoyed this, so I'm excited about this. This is campus novel. That's David's cough in the background because he's not very well either. The students at the River Valley School for the Deaf just want to hook up, pass their history finals, and have politicians, doctors and their parents stop telling them what to do with their bodies. This revelatory novel plunges readers into the halls of a residential school for the deaf, where they'll meet Charlie, a rebellious transfer student who's never met another deaf person before, Austin, the school's golden boy, whose world is rocked when his baby sister is born hearing, and February, the hearing headmistress, a coda, child of deaf adults, who is fighting to keep her school open and her marriage intact, but might not be able to do both. As a series of crises, both personal and political, threaten to unravel each of them, Charlie, Austin and February find their lives inextricable from one another and change forever. So it's a story of sign language and lip reading, disability and civil rights, isolation and injustice, first love and loss, and above all, great persistence, daring and joy. Absorbing and assured, idiosyncratic and relatable, this is an unforgettable journey into the deaf community and a universal celebration of human connection. And what I did like when I remember when I got out from the library, is that throughout the book there are drawings of like signs that, like, from sign language, and bits like this that are in it. So I'm very much looking forward to reading this. I really am very much looking forward to reading that. And then I've got a non-fiction book called Reach for the Stars by Michael Cragg. This is sort of like a potted history of pop music and pop culture between 1996 and 2006, which was my era. I was 20, I was 20, no I wasn't, I was 10 in 1996 and I was 20 in 2006, so it's a big sort of remembering lots of stuff that happened during that time. It's got interviews with people and things like that. I'm really, really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be really good fun. And yeah, Fame, Fallout and Pop's Final Party. Spoken word intro. So now here's the story from A to Z. It just sounds like it's going to be really good fun. It's got interviews with with Five, the band, all sorts of other people that were Sugar Babes. Yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to it, to reading it. I really love this sort of like nostalgia stuff. We've just recently watched the Robbie Williams documentary, who was a member of Take That, probably around this time actually, who then left and became a solo artist, and the nostalgia in that, like, I've just loved it. So yeah, I'm gonna very much enjoy this as well. And then two books from my wish list that are Christmassy books. This one I'm so excited about. This is Carol Ann Duffy's little tiny Christmas poem. She brings out one of these every single year, and this is the one she's bringing out this year. It's called Christmas Eve at the Moon Underwater, and every year she brings out these little hardback books, and they're always illustrated by a different illustrator. This year is illustrated by Margot Carpentier, and yeah, I mean, just look at that front cover with this gorgeous sign here, and it's got some like animals on top of that, and yeah, the end papers. Oh, I'm very, very excited about it. You can buy a sort of collection of them. Oh my god, this is my sort of illustration. Look at those bright colours. You can buy a compendium of the whole lot, which I do have. But yeah, she's still bringing out the little ones, and I love to sort of like snuggle down of an evening and read. My favourite one of these is Another Night Before Christmas, which is illustrated by Rob Bryan. But yeah, I love these so much. So yeah, really looking forward to getting to that. That might be the first book I read in December. And then I've been sent a Christmas picture book, which is always a joy for me. The Christmas Department Store by Maldy Powtuck and Hong Jiang. Now, these are always a joy to me, but they're even more of a joy to me now that I have a little niece to enjoy them with. This looks lovely. It says, Christmas for Benji has lost its magic. This year his family can't afford a tree or even a turkey. But then he stumbles upon the most extraordinary department store where polar bears talk and the presents are out of this world. A heartwarming story of love, laughter and family. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and I love that gold foiling on the front. Big Christmas tree. Trains, just something Christmassy about trains, isn't there? And then David's dad nicely passed me on this, Bob Mortimer's The Satsuma Complex. I'm a big fan of Bob Mortimer. I think he took this on his holiday and read it, and I said, oh, I've been meaning to read that, but I haven't got around to it. And he said, oh, well, I'm done with it now, so that will be read at some point in 2024, I imagine. Or maybe I'll get the audiobook out on Libby. I do not know, but yeah, I think David started listening to the audiobook of this and then never continued with it, but I've high hopes. And then I've got 3 very exciting books from the library. The first one is one of the first books. So there's a Sarah Cox show that is on the BBC that I really enjoy watching called Between the Covers, I think it's called. I always want to say Between the Sheets, but I think it's called Between the Covers. And it's, they focus on 6 new books, and the books that I've read from those lists have always been absolute bangers. And one of the ones that I managed to get, so when I watched it, and they mentioned what the 6 new books were, I put in reservations at the library, and the 3 that I couldn't get from the library I've put on my Christmas list. But one that's coming first is this, which is absolutely gorgeous. This is The Square of Sevens. I don't even know who it's bloody by Laura Shepherdson Robinson. That's what I wanted to do, because I think I've got another book by Laura Shepherdson Robinson. Maybe I haven't. I think she's written... Have I? Maybe I've read it and it's gone. But I feel like I remember having a big book of hers before, who's written like non-fiction, in fiction, historical fiction, maybe Blood and Sugar and Daughters of Night. Yeah, so I've read Blood and Sugar, and I had Daughters of Night for many years. I don't know where that's gone now. Maybe I've lent it out to somebody. But yeah, so this sounds really fun. I can't I can't find the blurb because they've either taken the jacket off of it or they've decided to not go with it. But it sounds as though it's about fortune telling. So what I'll do is, I mean, already I'm excited because it starts with a map. It's a signed edition as well. To have in a library, that's very exciting. It starts with a map, then it's got sort of like all of these illustrations of cards and things like that. Here's a lovely map of Bath in 1733. And if you'll just indulge me to read you this first paragraph, I was very, very into it. Okay, so chapter 1, 8 of Spades, influenced by a heart, and illness to another, dear to one. People like to say they seek the truth. Sometimes they even mean it. The truth is they crave the warm embrace of a lie. Tell them they're going to be rich or fall in love and they walk away whistling. Give them hard, unvarnished truth and you're looking at trouble. Now I'm told to do just that. Tell the truth and nothing but. Tell the truth and nothing but. Well, my story begins with a story and it begins with a lie. Doesn't that sound really great? So yeah, I don't know if I'll get to read this in November, but if not, I'd love to keep renewing it until I get it, if I can read it in January. But yeah, that front cover is just gorgeous, and I hope it's as good as like the other books that I've read that I've got from that shortlist. Right, then I've also got, now this is, I've put this on my Christmas list, so if somebody's bought me this for Christmas, I can return this. But yeah, so this is translated from Swedish, so this is Stolen by Ann-Helen Lestadius, translated from the Swedish by Rachel Wilson Broyles, and it's about to be made into a Netflix film. And it says here, 9-year-old Elsa lives just north of the Arctic Circle. I've been to the Arctic Circle now, I went in June. She and her family are Sami, Scandinavians, indigenous people, and make their life living herding reindeer. One morning, I think it might be Sammy actually, Elsa witnesses a brutal crime. She recognises the perpetrator but refuses to tell anyone, least of all the Swedish police force, about what she saw. A decade later, Elsa finds herself the target of the man she first encountered all those years before, and something inside of her finally breaks. The guilt, fear and anger she's been carrying since childhood come crashing over her like an avalanche and lead Elsa to a final catastrophic confrontation. Yeah, I think it sounds like it's going to be bloody brilliant. And I really want to make an effort to read more books from Indigenous people. So yeah, that sounds like it's going to be great. And being made into a film, there's nothing more I love than to be like, oh yeah, I've read the book of that, so I will watch the film. I'm one of those persons. Right, last one is a Christmas book from the library. This is All Wrapped Up by Ali Bunbury. These books are often like not my normal fodder in terms of like what I read. They're normally romance books, women's contemporary fiction books. But yeah, so I always have a little look at these books around Christmas time. It's probably the only time of the year I actually read them. But this is very exciting because it's set in Ireland. So a job declutter in a remote country house back in Ireland seems like the answer to her prayers. But when Holly arrives at Knockbowden, it's in a far worse state than she had expected, and there's no money available to carry out glamorous owner Serena's very big and very unrealistic renovation plans. Just when Holly is tempted to run away again, Serena gets a phone call that looks set to change the fate of Knockbowden, and she'll need Holly to make it happen. So as the countdown to Christmas begins, Holly ignores the interference of Serena's handsome but moody son, something's going to happen there, and works hard to help save the Harper family home. And the most wonderful time of the year, nothing can go wrong, right? there we go. So there we go. Those are some books just for the tail end of November. As I alluded to, I've every plan to do Vlogmas this year, which will hopefully be a video every day in December. I've scheduled out some lovely stuff, but if there's things that you like to see, then do let me know down below, and I'll see if I can make a little space for them. And I'll see you all again soon for another booktube video. Goodbye!